Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be talking about why I use a PC for gaming over a console. Do mind that all these points are pretty biased. I tried to find as much points as I could that mainly makes me want to play PC over a console. Yeah, if you want to counter anything I say or leave a different suggestion in the comments, feel free to do so, but here is my reasons why I like PC gaming better than console. So one of the most common things that a lot of people say when comparing PC to console is mods. Now I know there's some talking about bringing mods to the Xbox and maybe PlayStation, but as of right now there's very little mods that you can get. For some older PlayStation 3 games you can get mods, but it is very limited. On PC, sometimes it's just as easy as going to the Steam Workshop, clicking 3 buttons and calling it done. Other times you can install mod launchers and a bunch of different things. So overall I think mods are something that definitely keeps me playing on PC games. So I know I play a couple games and the only times I play single player is when I have mods. You can get a PC and have it last for quite a while. I have a GTX 460 in one of my rigs, and that is from quite some time ago. It's over 5 years old. And to be quite honest with you, can still play games alright. It can play GTA 5 around console settings, which is, for me, that's okay. I upgraded to a GTX 970 in my other computer though. Let me just tell you, that was a huge upgrade. But yeah. So if you have a longevity, you can have a PC that still lasts for quite a while. I have a Q6600 PC, which is from like 2011, and it still works to this day. You can still play games. So sometimes it's just as easy as putting in a new processor and some more RAM, maybe a new graphics card, and that can save you a couple $100 from going all out and having to upgrade it all. So usually PCs last for a much longer time. PCs are upgradable. So on your computer, if you just want, per se, low settings on 720p, just go out and buy a cheap graphics card. If you want to play on ultra settings, 1440p, go out, buy a 980 or a 970, 390, whatever you want to buy. You have so much money you don't know what to do with it, just go out and buy a couple 980 Ti's, SLI them, and call it a day. For other people, that's just not practical, but I think that if you got lots of money and you can go all out, and one day, let's just say you buy a GTX 750 Ti, it lasts great. The time comes where it's not doing so good, just upgrade it. So nice and simple, not a lot of work involved. Yeah, it's pretty much for upgrading. Sales. Now, I know there are some console sales, such as I know one time you could get a couple games on the PlayStation Store for half price, 40% off, but that's the best sale I've seen in quite a while on the PlayStation Store. Let me tell you that there are a lot of better things on PCs, such as G2A. You can get new games for dirt cheap, older games, or still games that are fairly popular for as low as $5. There's Steam sales, everyone knows Steam sales, how great those can be. Humble Bundle, which is something Origin does. I've actually bought quite a bit of games off the Humble Bundle, and the proceeds go to charity, so you can get some cheap games and have it go towards a good cause. So overall, I think PC just has a lot cheaper games, so the only thing I can say about consoles is buying games to use. For PC, you can also have customization. Let's say you want a keyboard that lights up. Go out and buy a keyboard that lights up. Let's just say you want a default Dell keyboard. Go out and buy one of those. You want a cheap $5 keyboard? Go out and buy one of those. It's all up to you. I know people that have keyboards worth $200. That's great. I have a keyboard that's worth $30. I love it. I can use it. It lights up. It's cool. You get a customizable mouse. Let's say you're an MMO gamer, you want buttons on the side, good for you. If you want an FPS mouse, it's a little bit smaller, you can get one of those. Ergonomic mice, you can get one of those. So there's a lot more customization in terms of accessories, and in terms of the actual computer yourself, you can get a different case. There's so many cases to choose from. The size of it, you can put LEDs in there. Custom looking motherboards, really cool coolers. There's a custom water cooling. There's a lot to do for customization of the internals and externals of a PC to make it your own. And there's also many PC shows too, so it just shows you quite a bit of the community there is for making your PC your own. Something that you can do with a PC is generally make it a lot quieter than a console. I know some consoles are actually pretty quiet, but to be quite honest with you, my PS4 is actually really loud. And I have it enclosed, not really an enclosed space, there's airflow in there, but it's still pretty loud. And with PC, just pop in a couple of fans, although this will be more expensive most likely, and just make it quiet. great for home theater PCs too, since consoles don't really support a lot of home theater stuff, which is another thing I'm going to be talking about. When you get a PC, just build a cheap home theater PC. You can just have one set up for Kodi, XMB, C, or whatever those home theater PC kind of platforms are. I don't know, I've never used one before, but just pop it in. You can even use Intel HD graphics, and you can have a decent home theater PC. And consoles do not natively support 4K resolution, which is a bummer for some home theater PC users. So I think that the fact that it has 4K support and you can really just build a cheap home theater PC is actually pretty good. Do you have a PC at your house? Probably. I know I do. I have a few actually. PCs are great for checking emails, browsing the web. Some people even go to school on a PC. PCs are just overall just a really important thing in a lot of people's lives. Some people just do everything on their phone, but I think a PC is pretty much necessary. I watch Netflix on it, I browse the web, I play games, and on a console, quite frankly, you just can't do that. On older consoles, you can install Linux, but it's slow and you can't do anything on them. So if you have a PC, browsing the web is a lot more practical. I know you can browse the web on a PlayStation 4, but not a lot of things support that web browser on there, and you can't really install any plugins or anything. So for PC, you can get video editing, better software, pretty much anything you want. You install TeamSpeak on your PC and talk to friends. Let's just say you want to install Windows Movie Maker and start making YouTube videos. Whatever you want, you can really do on a PC. PCs are a lot more open to production and just home use, so that's something you can't really do on a console. Better frame rates and resolutions. You hear this all the time from the PC Master Race guys. It's true though. Some people don't care. Some people do care. Personally, I think 40 frames per second, 50 frames per second, that's what I like. I've never used anything above 60 since I've always had 60 Hz monitors, but quite frankly, 30 FPS is alright. I can live with it. 40, that's nice. 50, that's nice. 60, that's amazing. But for me, I think anything above 30 FPS is playable. You can even play games at 25 FPS. I've seen people do it. People do it all the time. If you don't care about frame rates, you just want to have fun, go right for it. But resolutions is something that consoles don't really do the best job of doing, since its hardware is very limited. But on PCs, you want 720p, go for 720p, 1440p, yeah, pick up a good R9 390, 4K, multiple monitor setups. You can do all that with a PC. And on a PC you get much better texture quality. I know there's a couple games like Battlefield 4 or Assassin's Creed Black Flag where you won't really notice a difference in terms of quality from PC to console. But then again, those games are actually really easy to run on a PC. Even if you just had a cheap graphics card, you probably still could run it decently. But for some people, they just don't care. Other people, they do care. Consoles have exclusives, and so does PC. Although PC has a lot more exclusives, I'd say. There's stuff like Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Gmod, Dota, TF2, League of Legends, all those kind of games that are actually really popular. And stuff like Minecraft, I know that's still really popular on the PC. MMO games like League of Legends, Smite, Dota, all that kind of stuff. That's not really a good game to play on console. It's not even on console, most of that stuff. But I just say if you're looking for free-to-play games, PC has a lot more to choose from, and that PC just has a lot better exclusives. I know you could say stuff like, oh, on Xbox we have Sunset Overdrive and Forza Motorsport, but there's a lot better alternatives to that on PC. I'm not dissing those games, but I'm just saying there are more games on PC that you probably could choose from and relate to those games that are exclusive. But what about Wii U? Well, Wii U has a couple of exclusives that I guess are worth buying just the console for it. I know a lot of the Mario games, Super Smash Bros, Legend of Zelda games. I know those are Nintendo exclusives, and a lot of people actually really like those games. So I think maybe just pick up a Wii U if you just want to play those games. I know you can get Wii U's for like 200 to 300 bucks. I've seen them used for like 150. So if you can just grab one for cheap and you like those kind of games, may as well, right? Free online. Now, Xbox and PlayStation, you do have to pay for online unless you're playing on a last-gen console. But PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live. On Steam, you can just download the game and play it. Origin, download and play. Uplay, download and play. You don't have to pay $60 a year for a membership. Some people, $60 isn't bad, but if you add that up to the 3-year span of a console, 4-year span, however long your console's gonna last, that can actually add up to around $200 kind of thing. And that $200, I just say if you have $200 to spare, you can invest that in a good PC. Go from the $350 base console price, add another $200 onto it, add some more money you save from sales, and you could have yourself a pretty decent PC. The thing about PC is you can get parts for cheap. There's always sales going on. Get this for half price, get this for 70% off, buy a NVIDIA graphics card and get Metal Gear Solid for free, or get this game for free. It's something that PC's been doing for a while. Websites like Kijiji, Craigslist, eBay, you can get older hardware that's still actually really good and get it for dirt cheap. So even if you don't want to build the newest computer with the newest, greatest parts, just buy an old one and get some good old parts. GTX 580, I know that thing is still absolutely beast, and I've seen those go for as low as $50 and as high as $100. So you get one of those for around $70, you'd be good for a couple more years. Another thing about PC gaming is that you can use controllers. Don't get limited to just certain console for certain platform. You can use special controllers, wired controllers, wireless controllers, Xbox, PlayStation. You can use it on PC, no limitations. Another good reason to consider PC gaming is emulators. This is something you can do on your phone, although it's a lot better on PC. You can emulate older games, such as older Nintendo games, older PlayStation games, that kind of thing. And if you just want to load up an old emulator game, you can just play that on PC. Most of the time it's also pretty free too. Another thing about PC that's a little bit better is just overall the features of it. On PC you can have stuff such as USB ports, certain motherboard outputs, better sound outputs. I know on consoles you're pretty much limited to optical out and sometimes a headphone jack, but on PC it has all the 7.1 surround sound, analog audio, digital audio, all that kind of stuff. So just a lot better connections on PC, and you're not limited to 2 or 4 USB ports like on consoles. Something worth mentioning is also gaming laptops. For someone that doesn't really use a setup that's stationary, is on the go, moving between places, a gaming laptop might be a lot more practical for them. Although just keep in mind, gaming laptops are usually pretty expensive to their desktop counterparts. But for some people, gaming on the go is a lot more easier with a laptop than if you just had a console per se, plugging it in. So with PCs, you can also just use it on the go. If you're on the plane, on the car, traveling between 2 houses, gaming laptops are usually pretty decent. So that sums up why I think PC is better than console. If you want to leave any suggestions in the comments, tell me why console is better than PC, go right ahead. If you have any more things to say why PC that I might have missed, go ahead, put those in the comments. Do mind that these are all just my negatives about console gaming and the positives of PC. And also we'll try and do a console video one. But that's all for now. Have a nice day and see you guys later.